Folks, gather round because we're diving into the world of presidential immunity. Now, this isn't about whether the president can eat a whole tub of ice cream without judgment, though let's be honest, we've all been there. This is about a recent Supreme Court case concerning former President Trump and whether he could be sued for his actions before taking office. The case stems from a 2015 incident where protesters alleged that Trump's security team assaulted them. They claimed Trump, then a candidate, was responsible for inciting violence. Trump naturally said, "Nuh-uh, presidential immunity," and thus began a legal tug-of-war that reached the highest court in the land. The Supreme Court, in a somewhat surprising twist, decided that Trump couldn't just wave away the lawsuit with the immunity wand. They said, "Hold your horses, Mr. Former President. Immunity is a tricky beast." And folks, they were right. This case wasn't just about Trump, it was about the delicate balance of power in our government. Now, presidential immunity isn't some magical force field that protects presidents from all lawsuits. It's more like a very specific shield, designed to protect the president from frivolous lawsuits while they're busy running the country. The idea is that if a president is constantly worried about getting sued, they can't do their job effectively. Think about it. If every time the president made a decision, they were bombarded with lawsuits, they'd spend more time with lawyers than with advisors. Not exactly conducive to, leading the free world. However, this case threw a wrench in the gears. These alleged actions happened before Trump became president. So the question became, does presidential immunity cover you for things you did as a private citizen, even if those things are related to your campaign? The Supreme Court, in their infinite wisdom, or at least in their majority opinion, decided to punt on that specific question. They sent the case back down to the lower courts, essentially saying, "You guys figure it out, we have more pressing matters to attend to." Like perhaps deciding whether a hot dog is a sandwich. Spoiler alert, it is. Chief Justice John Roberts, the man who looks like he could be your very serious history professor, wrote the majority opinion. Roberts, ever the pragmatist, stressed the importance of finding a balance, protecting the presidency and ensuring accountability. It was a very Robertsian move, emphasizing the need for stability and order. But let's be real, the court essentially kicked the can down the road. They didn't want to deal with the messy implications of stripping a former president of immunity, especially in such a politically charged case, so they opted for the judicial equivalent of a to be continued.
Section 4. Dissent in the ranks, Sotomayor's concerns. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, however, wasn't having any of it. She penned a fiery dissent, arguing that the court was essentially giving Trump a free pass. Sotomayor, never one to mince words, essentially said, "Look, no one is above the law, not even a former president." She argued that allowing Trump to claim immunity for actions taken before he became president set a dangerous precedent. What's to stop future presidents, she argued, from engaging in shady behavior during their campaigns, knowing they can't be held accountable once in office?
Sotomayor's dissent highlighted the very real concerns about executive power and accountability. She reminded us that even presidents, with all their power and prestige, are not exempt from the law. Section 5, Echoes of Nixon, a historical perspective. This case in many ways echoed the infamous Nixon v. Fitzgerald case from 1982. That case also dealt with presidential immunity, but in the context of official actions taken while in office. The court ruled in Nixon's favor, saying that presidents have absolute immunity for actions taken in their official capacity. However, they left the door open for lawsuits related to actions taking office. The Trump case, in a way, was the court grappling with that very loophole. The Nixon case showed us that presidential immunity is not limitless. It has boundaries, and those boundaries are constantly being tested and redefined. The Trump case is just the latest chapter in this ongoing saga. Section 6, the future of presidential accountability. So, what does this all mean for the future of presidential accountability? Well, the short answer is, we don't really know yet. The Supreme Court's decision to send the case back to the lower courts leaves many questions unanswered. Will Trump ultimately face trial for his actions? Will this case set a precedent for how future presidents are held accountable? These are questions that will likely be debated for years to come. One thing is clear, this case highlights the ongoing tension between the need for a functioning executive branch and the importance of holding those in power accountable. It's a delicate balance and one that the Supreme Court for now seems content to leave unresolved.